So since, as you know, the assignments are not mandatory, means it's completely optional. Like if you want to submit, you can submit. If you don't want to submit, it's completely your choice. But still, you can see on your screen, this much of people have already submitted the assignment one, right? Here you can see these are all the people have already submitted the assignment one that I have to review. I think more around 10 people have already submitted among all learners. So I expect all of you to please do submit your assignments if you get the time, because that way also I can force you to learn SolidWorks with me. So basically, guys, this is now day three of our 7-day boot camp of learning SolidWorks. And now, if you know, I have already uploaded the last two recorded sessions onto the dashboard. Like if you have missed anyhow the first two sessions, you can go back and check it out. The recordings are loaded. You can watch it. You can start learning. So I will just give a quick demo like how you can access the recordings. It's super simple. You just log in into this platform, that is academy.3dash.com. You can use your email by which you have registered. So by using the same email, you can register over here, and then once you will log in, on the left top corner here you can see whatever it is your name, you will be able to see the icon over here. Just click on it and then go to your my purchases section. Just click on it, my purchase section, and there you will find your course or this boot camp details. Just click on it and it will direct you into the dashboard. So right now we are in day 3 dashboard. This is happening at this moment. SolidWorks 3D tool and features that we are going to learn today. But if you'll expand the day 2 also, you can see the recording has been uploaded, right? And for day 1 also, if you'll expand and see, the recording of the day 1 has also been uploaded. So you got a very great chance. You can just check it out. These recordings will be available to you for 1 year. You can watch it, you can revise it, you can come up with any questions. Just let me know into the group or into this live session. So that's the thing. Now we are into day 3 where we are going to learn the SolidWorks 3D tools and features. So we already learned so many things about sketches in day 1, and I hope all of you have learned something. I'm not expecting you to be expert in sketches, but at least you learned the right process uh, to create sketches inside SolidWorks. And now we are into day 3. So we'll wait for 1 more minute because usually we start from 8:05. So we'll wait for 1 more minute until if someone more people wants to join, they can join. And let me post the link into the group also so people can find it easy to join. Okay, so I will just write we are live now. Yep. So any one of you, if you are having any trouble in getting started into the tool, now you have the option, you have the opportunity to just let me know into the chat box. Just comment into the chat box if you want to ask something. Go ahead, guys. I'm waiting for a few questions before we'll get started. And there are so many things we have described yesterday. And so I expect all of you to be very much responsive. And if you are listening me better, like if my voice is clear, you can see me better. If I'm not too fast, just write. You can send me anything into the chat box. It's on to you. You can write any letter, any message, anything. Just write anything. Just write anything in the chat box. All 10 people who are live right now, just write anything into the chat box. And again, I'm repeating, by the end of this complete 7-day boot camp, all of you will be receiving a certificate of participation. Okay, I can see so many people of you are responding. Aman, Jagjot, Abhijit, others. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much that you are listening to me available. Others, Kola, thank you, Chaitanya, thank you so much. So Since our time is now, thank you, Dusan. So our time is now that we can start the learning and we can go ahead with whatever we have planned for this complete bootcamp. And people will keep joining, keep leaving. So we cannot do with anything with that. Now let's move to the SolidWorks. So in the last session, if you remember, we have created a simple sketch, right? We have created a very simple rectangular sketch, and I have also given you the assignment, right? If you don't know, I have also given you the assignment on day 2 to create a drawing, that this simple drawing. I don't know how many of you have created this drawing, but this is the drawing that we are going to use today, and we'll get started into the 3D modeling, right? We'll start converting this model to 3D. And why this model? Why not this one? Because this is just a random simple sketch. But this one is a part. This one is a practical part that you will see when I will start converting it into 3D. So it's one of the part from a complete assembly. So you will see how we are going to convert this, right? So first we'll create this sketch. So before we'll get started, I already created this sketch, and that is an assignment for you, that you have to create that sketch. So I'm not going to explain you how to create this sketch because this is much simpler, and I will simply open that sketch that we have created, right? Let me open it and let me see if I can find it for you. Just give me a second. Not this one. Yep, I think this one should work. Yep. And again, I'm repeating, any point of time, if you guys got any questions, you can just ask me. I'm always here to help you to answer your questions. So I will delete this as well. Yes. So this is our sketch, right? If I'll go into edit mode, this is the sketch I have already created, and you also have to create this sketch. Just go on to the day 2 assignment. You will find this sketch. Create this sketch first, and make sure that start from at least one of the origin point. So your sketch is fully defined. And here you can see at the bottom, my sketch is fully defined. And also we have to make sure that the unit we have selected is millimeter gram second, right? So these two things are really very important. Apart from this, we'll also save this one. So right now this is saved with some other name, that is the sketch one, but let's save this as a new name, that is main body. So anyone in the chat box can write how we can save it as a new body. What should we click on? Whether we should click on save or whether we should click on save as. Which option we should use if I want to save this same drawing or design with a new name? Save as. Correct, others. You're absolutely right. Ramchandra, thank you. You are absolutely right. So we'll go on this option and we'll find, by using this drop down, we'll find this option save as new, right? We'll click on it, and now we can save this drawing with a new name. Okay. So we'll save this drawing with a new name, and here we are going to keep a name as, let's save it on desktop. I always save something on the desktop, but it's always important that you keep a structured folder, right? So your files don't get like lost into your desktop. So it's important you keep a structured system to save your contents and designs. So here I will just write main body. Here you can see body, and since it's a single part, that's why it says .sldprt, right? It's a part file, simple single part file, and it's named as main body, right? It's named as main body. I will click on save, and the moment I will click on save, two changes we'll see. The first, that on the top of it, you can see the name just got updated to main body. Also in the design tree onto the top here, you can say it also says main body, right? So now we can see we have saved it as a new main body part file. Now, once we are done, once you are done with the sketching, once you have finished the sketch, what you have to do, you have to come out of the sketch work environment. And how you can do that? There are two ways. Either you click on this option over here under the sketch panel, you can click on this option that says exit sketch, or else you can click on this option, this you can see the semi-transparent icon, and once you will move your cursor onto it, it will get highlighted. So this is also a tool to exit from the sketch. This tool and this tool is exactly the same, right? It is just an icon. Even in the icon itself, you can see the same icon is here, little bit bigger, right? So if I'll click on it, I will exit from the sketch work environment. And moment you will exit from the sketch work environment, you will not be able to see your dimensions, right? Because dimensions are only visible inside sketch work environment. And this is the first sketch we just created. Under the design tree here, you can see the first sketch just got added, right? And this is not just a sketch. If you'll select it, you can see it's a closed profile, right? It's closed, completely closed from all sides. So it is occupying a area inside that, right? So this is a closed area. And it's important inside SolidWorks, like if you want to convert any sketch entities to 3D, your profile should be closed. It's important, right? Always remember this. If even if it has 0.00001 millimeter of opening, that will not be considered as a closed sketch. So it's very important that you keep your sketch 100% closed. Then only that will start acting as a profile if you want to convert anything to 3D, right? Now, because what is 3D? 3D is just an extension of a surface, right? Once you will take any surface, you will extrude it, or you will add a direction in Z direction, add a material in Z direction, it will get converted as 3D, right? So paper is 2D, but if you'll stack multiple layer of papers in Z direction, it will become 3D, right? So 3D starts always from a surface that should be closed from all sides, right? If it is open, then that is not a surface, that is simple boundaries, right? So it's important that you create a closed profile. And here in this sketch, we created a simple closed profile, and it's a single profile right now, right? If we'll create a line from here to here, then this profile will get divided into two different areas, but now it is a single profile. So what we'll do, first we'll extrude this profile. And how we can do that? It's very simple. This sketch is inside sketch 1, right? So we'll select this sketch 1, right? We'll go on to the features tool panel, and under the features tool panel, you will find a tool that we use normally to convert anything to 3D is extrude/boss tool, right? Extrude/boss tool, by using which you can convert anything to 3D. And the moment I'm keeping my cursor onto the tool, even in the preview itself, you can see it's like converting any surface in Z direction or in Y direction or in X direction, whatever, but it will convert your simple flat profile to a 3D profile, right? So I will activate this tool, but before activating, I will make sure that I had selected the sketch that I want to extrude. So inside this sketch 1, this is the single profile. So I had selected that, and now if I'll click on extrude, here you can see by default it is giving me some preview by a certain extrusion distance, and that is 10 millimeters. So it is by default. Don't worry about that. We can change it, right? So right now it is extruding from this face. This is my sketch profile. From this face, it is extruding towards this direction. I mean towards myself by 10 millimeter. This thickness is right now 10 millimeter, and that is defined over here. If we'll change this to, let's say, 15, and if we'll click outside, anywhere outside, here you can see this is getting updated, 15. If we'll make it 40 and click outside, here you can see it's getting updated. But it is just a preview so far. That's why you can see it in yellow color, right? It is just a preview. Once I will click on this green tick icon under the boss extrude tool, then this tool will get applied. This command will get applied. But until now, it is just a preview. And this preview, I can turn it off or turn it on, right? I can turn it off and turn it on. But we always keep preview turned on because that is a standard practice. Okay, Jyoti is asking, the plane made is top plane only. I didn't get you. What exactly you mean? The plane made is top plane only. Can you please elaborate your question? Okay, anyway, so right now, whenever we'll activate the extrude tool by selecting any profile, we'll get multiple options also. So right now, First option is from. So inside from, here you can see it is saying that we are starting our extrusion, I mean converting the sketch to 3D from a sketch plane. So on whatever sketch plane we created the sketch, from there only this extrusion is getting started. So from this sketch plane that we have created, this is the sketch plane, from there it is starting the extrusion. So we can change that, we have multiple options, but in the beginning when you are just getting started, keep this always a sketch plane. Later you will, once you will start doing some little bit of next step of modeling, you're going to start experimenting with the different concept that is there. But in the beginning, make it simple, so we can easily create something in the beginning, right? So we have started from sketch plane. Now next thing is the direction, in which direction you want to extrude. Right now it is extruding towards this direction, but we can also extrude towards the other direction, right? Maybe on this side. So it is possible. So if we'll click on this icon that you can see, we can flip the direction. Here you can see we can flip the direction. So we have full control, like in which direction we want to extrude. So this direction or this direction. So right now the option in the direction is blind, right? So it will start from the sketch plane and it will go 100% 40 millimeter, right? That's why the option is blind. Again, we have multiple options. So that will be learning in maybe tomorrow's session, but right now just keep it blind. Don't get overwhelmed by so much options over there right now. Just keep the default option at this moment blind. Now the next thing is that, forget about this thing, the next thing is that the distance, right? So how much distance you want to extrude, how much thickness you want to give to your body, right? So right now it's 40. I just want to keep 40. Guys, let me know if you can hear me. I can see there is some internet connectivity issues. So anyone in the chat box can confirm if you can hear me. Just write into the chat box, guys, if you can hear me. I can see there is some connectivity issue at my end. So let me know if you can hear me. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Dusen. So my connection is back, I think. So we just extruded it 40 millimeter on that side, starting from this plane. Now the next option is this draft angle. We can also add some draft angle whenever we are doing the stuff like this. So draft angle is basically used when you are designing something for injection molding, right? If you remember, if you have studied, I don't know, like whatever the designs if you are making, that must not be a flat surface. There should be always a draft angle of at least 0.5 to 1 degree or 2 degree. So whenever they injection mold the part can easily come out of the mold, right? But that's a manufacturing technique that you have to learn, and it's completely based on the industry you are working. But here we'll ignore this draft angle because normally and that's why I say always the DFM, design for manufacturing, is important. We have to learn what are the techniques, tools, considerations, specifications, codes are getting applied into different sectors of design and industry. So we have to focus on that area also. So the 50% is the tool, and I will say 50% is the design for manufacturing knowledge. So it's important. So right now we'll care about these things only, and then ignore the direction 2 and thin feature. Let's come to the last option, that is contour, like which contour we want to extrude. So right now you can see by default sketch 1 is selected, right? Sketch 1 is selected. And now if I'll click on this OK icon, here you can see we have created our first 3D model using our sketch that we have created inside SolidWorks. So we have extruded it and we have created something like this. Here you can see a part, something like this. Now what tool we have learned? Now we have learned how to use the extrude tool. I think everything is clear so far, guys. Just let me know in the chat box if everything is clear. Just write K into the chat box. Right, everyone write K into the chat box if everything is clear. If you have any question, just go ahead. If you have any question, just go ahead and ask. Okay, thank you so much, Ramchandran, Adarsh, Saman, Swaraj, Abhijit. Thank you. So guys, Yeah, so we just created our first 3D model using a simple sketch. What it is not a random model. I will tell you what it is. Okay, so what is Kolak? Yes, sir. On okay, so can you please write it again? I cannot get it. What it is? What's your question? So this is complete about Boss Extrude. Now, the next tool that we're going to find in the same feature tool panel, and that tool is Fillet. So I don't know how many of you know what Fillet does. So first we have to find the tool. Where is Fillet tool? So it's under the feature tool panel. If we'll move your cursor towards the right, here inside this panel, you can see this Fillet tool, right? And there is a drop down. So in this same tool, we have two different tools, Fillet and Chamfer, right? So first we'll go with the Fillet tool, Fillet, right? Okay, so the Kola is asking, sir, please tell me once again, extrude. Fillet at last. Okay. So now we'll go with step by step, because to model this design, to get the shape of the design, after extrude, we'll go with the fillet, right? Because there are so many tools, it's not possible to cover each tool. Also, most of the tools are not frequently used. I am covering the most frequent used tools into this workshop, into this bootcamp. So if you need some advanced feature onto your design, you can start learning and exploring, because you got the idea, you got the process. And whenever you are stuck, you can simply write into the, open the google.com, write how to use this tool. You will get a detailed explanation on Google Gemini, that is the Google AI tool, and it will guide you how you can use that tool. So it's super simple. Anyway, so okay, so let me do the extrude again. I will press Ctrl Z. So this is my profile, close profile, simple. What you have to do, first select the sketch, activate the extrude tool, right? And the moment you will, after selecting the sketch, you will click on the extrude tool, you will see a preview like this. So by default, it is extruding by some distance, right? Now here we have multiple options. The first option is from, like from where you want to start extrusion, start extruding, right? So that is the thing. Now the next option, and in the from option, always keep this option sketch plane. Don't change anything, because we are just getting started. Always keep this option sketch plane. Now in the direction, since it is starting from this plane and extruding up to 40 millimeter, this thickness is 40 millimeter towards this direction. You can see the arrow direction, right? Now, if I don't want to extrude in this direction, if I want to extrude in other direction, how we can do that? We can click on this direction option over here, and it will reverse the direction. And the same we can also do from the model itself also. Just click on the arrow and drag it onto the opposite direction, like this, there you can see. So we can drag also, but I prefer to use these options because these are more accurate, right? So here it is, we just extruded it. Now the next option is the distance. How much distance of extrusion you want to keep? Not 42, if you want to keep 40, so we'll enter the 40. Simply we'll write 40 unit. You don't need to include units like millimeter. Can you hear me, guys? Again, there is some connectivity issue. Just let me know into the chat box. All of you can hear me. Yes. So you don't need to write units like millimeter or anything, because units we have already defined into this part file, that mmgs at the right bottom corner, right? So we only have to define the numbers over here like 40, and it will automatically take it as a millimeter. You don't have to enter the or anything like that. Don't need to enter any prefix, right? Oh, sorry, suffix, not prefix. So, and the next option is this draft angle. Ignore that as well. Simply expand the contour option, and inside the contour option, we have, if you remember, we have selected the sketch one before starting this extrude tool. So that sketch one is selected over here. So that is also right. Simply click on this OK option, and your sketch just got converted by a 40 millimeter so extrusion. and now it is your first 3D model. And how you can confirm it's 40? If you'll click on any edge, you can select any edge from your cursor. So if you'll click on any edge, the property of that edge will get highlighted at the bottom. Here you can see the length is 40, right? If you'll select any other edge, like this edge, the length is 15. So this way you can also quickly check the dimensions, measurements of your 3D model. Okay. Now, since we got it, and the next tool that we're going to learn, and also you can see the moment I finish the boss extrude tool, my sketch just got hidden inside this boss extrude tool. Here you can see. So in design tree, again, this new feature got added, that is boss extrude, and inside that sketch also got inserted. Why? Because this boss extrude tool is driven by that sketch one. That's why they had simply included that inside boss extrude 2. Now all the time, whenever you are working in this tool, all the time, if you feel like somehow by mistake I had 40, it should be 30, then how you can make the change? Because this is also important, making change. So how you can make the change? Either you press Ctrl Z and start again extrusion, right? Go back, press Ctrl Z to undo the things, few step back, and then start again from the sketch. Or else you can simply come onto your design tree, and this is the boss extrude that we did to extrude this model, right? So I will make a right click onto it, and the first option that will got is edit this feature. So this boss extrude is a tool, a feature that we have applied on the sketch, right? And now if you want to edit this feature, I will click on it, and I will go back again to the editing work environment, right? And again, if you want to change this, let's say 30 or anything, you can change it, and you can just simply click on OK, and it will get updated instantly. So even if you have multiple steps done already, still if you want to change it, you can come and change, right? It's possible. And that's the beauty of parametric CAD modeling tool. That's why we call it parametric CAD modeling tool. And that's why these tools are different from the other tools like the game designers use, like the tools like Blender, 3ds Max, or Maya. They are not mechanical softwares, they are not parametric softwares, and you cannot go back and change the steps when you have applied the features onto the body. But in parametric CAD tools, we have full control. We can come back and we can make the changes as per our requirements, as per our design ask, right? So we have that option. So I hope extrude is clear to everyone. Okay, thank you so much, Kola. So now we'll move on applying some fillets, and fillets are important. And from where we'll know that on what areas fillets we have to apply. So we'll go back to our assignment that I uploaded onto the day 3. And here you can see this part. This is the shape that we are going to achieve. So here you can see we have applied fillet onto this corner and onto this corner. So we are going to apply a fillet of 5 and 2, right? On this corner we'll apply a fillet of 2, and this corner will apply a fillet of 5. So these two things will apply first. Also there is a fillet on this corner as well. I think this is also 5, 5 and 2. Let's do that. So we'll activate the fillet tool. We'll move into the feature tool panel. We'll move right, and here you can find your fillet tool. So if you expand the drop down at the bottom of fillet tool, there are 2 tools clubbed inside this single tool, but we'll start the fillet first. So fillet is nothing like if 2 corners are matching at a 90-degree or at any angle, not necessarily a 90-degree, then you can make it smooth at the corner, like applying some arc onto that corner face. So I will activate the tool, and here you can see the first thing it is asking me to select the item where I want to apply fillet. So item is definitely the corner, because we can only be able to apply fillets onto the corner. So we'll select that. And the moment I selected that corner, that edge, you can see the preview. By default, it has taken some value, but we want just this to be 2, I think. I will click 2 and will press anywhere outside. No, it's not 2. I think it's 5, little bit higher. So this is the 5 fillet we are applying, and right now you can see the preview. It is just a wireframe preview, right? It is just a wireframe preview. And now I'm not going to touch anything apart from that. I will simply click on OK, and that fillet just got applied. We'll again repeat the same tool. Again, we'll go back to the feature panel, fillet, and we'll click on the tool to activate. And the moment it get activated, I just need to define the edge. And this one, I just want to keep 10. So I will change this value to 10 and we'll click on OK like this. And we'll also do the same onto this edge. So we'll activate the fillet tool and we'll select the edge. So anytime if you have accidentally selecting anything wrong, let's say by accidentally I selected this face. So no problem. You can simply click on it again and it will get deselected, right? So I only have to select this corner and 10 fillet is getting applied. I will press OK, right? So here, if you have noticed, I don't know if you have noticed or not. So here, if you have noticed, this fillet and this fillet was same, right? Same values, 10 millimeter, but still we had taken two different steps to apply this fillet. Here you can see first we have applied this internal fillet of 10 and then this external fillet of 10. But that is unnecessarily making our tree longer, right? If we can apply both the fillets in a single step, that could be more like structured way of doing or applying the commands onto you or the features onto your body, right? So first I will delete both the fillets. I will simply select the feature, will press delete and will press yes. We'll select the feature, will press delete on my keyboard, will press yes. Now we'll again activate the fillet tool, and instead of selecting both the edges separately, first I will click on this edge and then I will click on this edge, and both of them are getting applied with a fillet of 10 millimeter. Here you can see, and I will simply press OK. Now it has only one fillet applied over here, but for this fillet we have to keep this separate fillet because this value was different, right? It was 5 millimeter radius. So here is the tool. We have learned two different tools. The first one was extrude, second one was fillet. Now up to this point, any questions, any one of you? Let me know if you have any questions. Now the next tool, okay, you don't need to press shift. You can simply keep clicking on the edges and it will keep adding. And if you want to deselect any edge, again click on the same edge. For example, if I activate the fillet tool, my hands are here and I'm only using the mouse, and I can click on this edge, I can click on this edge as well, I can click on this edge as well. No need to press shift. And if you want to deselect any one of the edge, simply again click on it and that will get deselected, right? And any point of time, if you don't want to apply any command, simply press escape on your keyboard, right? Everything will be get deselected. Okay, thank you so much. So we have applied fillet, we had applied extrude. Now we'll move on to the next command, that is the chamfer. And just few minutes ago, I had told you where you can find that tool under the fillet drop down option, right? So we'll go on to the feature tab, we'll expand this option from here and we'll activate this tool called chamfer, right? Now the chamfer is little bit different from fillet. Like fillet, what fillet is doing, fillet is making corners smooth, but chamfer will not make corners smooth. Chamfer will give a kind of angle at the corner or at the edge. So that will show you how. Even in the icon itself, you can see it will give you an angle kind of thing, right? So once you will activate the chamfer tool, you will see a box like this where you have to select the items to chamfer. So I will start adding the items that I want to chamfer. So here I will select this edge and this edge. Here you can see. I will rotate it like this using my mouse scroll wheel. If I press my mouse scroll wheel, I can orbit across my 3D model. So these practices you have to develop. Like once you will start working, how you can easily navigate across your 3D model, and that only comes with more time. If you will spend into the tool, the more comfortable you will get, right? It's not like if I will teach you and instantly will start doing the things. For example, how many of you have started using laptop for the first time and you find so much challenging to using the mouse, sorry, the trackpad of the laptop, right, in the beginning, but after certain years of using it, now you are completely comfortable. Even if you don't have a mouse, you can simply use the trackpad, right? In the same manner, if you want to use your mouse with your these CAD models, it will take time, like how you can easily navigate across your 3D model, what are the controls, what are the clicks you have to make to navigate across 3D model, and that only comes with the time. So I will select this edge or this edge as well. The same like fillet, if you keep clicking on the edges, it will get selected. So on these 4 edges, here you can see is 1, 2, 3, 4. I am applying a chamfer of 2 millimeter. Sorry, 1 millimeter, not 2 millimeter, 1 millimeter. So here you can see its chamfer preview is, you can see like this, the corners will be get chamfered. And if we'll finish, okay, here you can see this is the result of 1 mm chamfer, right? This is the result of 1 mm chamfer. But here we did a small mistake. What is that mistake? That chamfer value should be 2 millimeter, not 1 millimeter. So we have made a chamfer like this. From the front you can see it will look something like this, but we want to make it 2 millimeter, not 1 millimeter. And that mistake, let's correct that mistake. That mistake, we'll make a right click on this chamfer and we'll click on edit feature. I told you we can edit any feature at any point of time just by going through the design tree and making a right click, and you can edit that feature. So I will click on edit feature, and here these 4 edges are selected and the value is 1. So we'll change this to 2 first. So I changed that to 2, and again I will click on this box. I will click inside this box and I will start adding few more edges into it. Like I want to apply chamfer on this as well, this and this. Now this and this also this. So I just want to select all these edges. So I will keep selecting, and here you can see whatever edges we are selecting is getting added into this box, right? So I will keep selecting like this, boom, boom. So if you anytime if you have selected any face or anything by mistake, you can deselect it by pressing on it again. So here you can see simply I have selected all the faces, right? I have selected all the faces. Now it's 2 millimeter. I will press OK. Now you can see we have applied a chamfer of 2 millimeter on all these edges. Can you see it? Can you see it? All of you can see it, right? All of you can see it. Now, so what we did, we have applied a chamfer of certain. Okay, so we have one more thing. We have to also apply a chamfer of, I think, 10 millimeter onto this corner, because right now this corner is straight, but we have to make it 10 millimeter chamfer. So again, we'll activate this chamfer tool. We'll select this edge, and here we'll apply a chamfer of 10 millimeter like this. I will press OK. So one problem, guys. We'll edit this feature and we'll add these edges as well. Now this is our result. Now up to this point, any one of you have any questions? Simply I have applied chamfer onto the edges. So we have used 3 tools till now: boss extrude, fillet, and chamfer. Fillet and chamfer are almost similar, only the appearance are changing. Like one is making the edges smoother and one is making the edges sharper at a particular angle, right? And a very important tips, whenever you are designing something, anything for practical purpose, always apply some amount of fillet into your model, right? Because in reality, there is nothing into this world that is 100% have sharp corners, right? If you'll go into the microscopic level, everything have some certain amount of fillets. So if you want your designs to be manufacturable, always apply some sort of fillet onto your designs, right? Always apply, because if you make the corners super sharp, like at 90-degree, whenever you try to produce these rendered images, the lights may not reflect correctly, or you will get not very good rendering results. So to make your renders look more realistic, always apply some sort of fillet onto each edges of your sharp edges of your design, right? Okay, so the 10 mm fillet was very simple. I think this was the 10 mm fillet. So I will go one step back. So this is the 10 fillet up we have applied. So we'll delete that. Now this is the edge. We'll activate the chamfer tool. Okay, so you want to ask the chamfer, not the fillet, I think. So we will activate the chamfer tool. We'll select this edge. We'll change the value to 10. We'll press OK. Simple, right? Okay, and we'll also press save onto my SolidWorks. So that practice we also have to develop, because otherwise somehow if the software crashes, we'll lose all our hard work. We don't want to do that. We don't want this to be happen. So develop a practice to save your drawings after certain interval of time. So this is my design so far. So the next thing is that you can see somehow we also lost the chamfers that we have made. So again we'll activate the chamfer tool and we'll quickly add those chamfer that we just lost. But before that, before adding that chamfer, there is a cutout that we want to add. And on this face, if you'll see the drawing, there is this cutouts. You can see the triangular cutouts on the first face, second face, and onto the third face, right? So first we'll create these triangular cutouts, right? And that I will show you how you can do that triangular cutouts. Now, inside SolidWorks, you can start creating sketches on the flat faces only, if you'll remember. And that 3 flat faces was front plane, right plane, and top plane. But apart from these 3 planes, you can also create sketches on any planes that is flat. That should be flat, right? So in this design, you can see this is the flat plane, 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 and even this is the flat plane. So all this, on all these flat planes, whatever you see as a flat plane, we can start creating the sketch onto it, right, to get our desired shape. So here we want to make a triangular cut onto this face, onto this face, and onto this face, right? So for that we'll start creating a sketch onto this face. And to create a sketch onto this face, what we have to do, simply go back to your sketch panel and click on this sketch tool, activate your sketch tool, right? And then it is asking me you to select the plane. So in the beginning we selected only front, right, and top plane, right? But now we'll select this plane as a sketch plane. So moment I will move my cursor onto this plane, you can see it is getting highlighted, right, like this. So I will click on this plane, and now that plane is ready to start creating a sketch. So now that plane is acting as a sketch plane, and that's why you can see all the sketch tools are active. So here we are going to create 3 rectangles, right? But before that, there is a very important tool that is known as convert entities. And this tool you can find only inside the sketch work environment. This tool you cannot find inside the features panel or anything. Once you will activate the sketch work environment, then only you will be able to see this convert entities tool. And what convert entities does, I will show you. So if you remember, this is the sketch plane we had activated, this face, right, this face. And now this design have, if you'll click on this face, you can say it is highlighting the 4 sides of this face, right? And if you want to convert this 4 side as a sketch, how we can do that? Just activate this convert entity tool, and then it is asking you to select the entities that you want to convert as a sketch. So I will select this face. Here you can see the face 1 is selected, and if I click on finish, you can see it has converted that into this face as a sketch of closed profile of 4 rectangles, right? And that just got added as a sketch too. And now if I will expand the solid body, and if we'll turn off the body, here you can see this is the sketch that we just converted from the existing solid body profile, flat profile, right? I will turn it on again, right? So this is what we did. Now since we are ready to create a sketch onto this face, so we'll activate the line tool, simple line tool. I will try to create a shape that we want to create, like this kind of triangle. And then again we'll activate, we'll also create from the top like this. We'll also create on the third side like this. Very simple. Now we created this sketch. And if you remember, we also used, I shown you in the first session how we can bring this normal tool, right? So this normal tool is we can go perpendicular to this face. So if I click on the normal, here you can see now we are perpendicular to this face. So now we can better work with this sketch edge. So what we'll do here, first thing that we'll do, we'll make sure that all these four edges are equal in size. So for that, I will select all four edges by pressing shift on my keyboard. By pressing shift on my keyboard, I can select all the line entities, and then I can apply this equal constraint between them. So the moment I click on equal, you can see all of them just got adjusted and became equal. So now if I'll change any one of them, the rest will also update, right? Now I will also make sure that this point and this point are horizontally at the same level. So again, by pressing shift on the keyboard, I will select both of the points, right? I will select both of the points, will apply the horizontal constraint, and will press OK. So both of them also became horizontal. So if I'll move this one up, this the other will also move up and down like that, right? And I will also make sure that these 2 points are horizontally labeled. And I will also make sure that I think by default this became horizontally labeled. Now we'll add one more dimension. From the sketch dimension tool, we'll activate the smart dimension. And from this point to this is this value, I just want to keep 4. So I will enter 4 and will press enter like this. I will also make sure that this edge and this edge are equal in size. So we'll, by pressing shift onto my keyboard, we'll select both the edges, we'll apply the equal constraint. Now I will make sure that from this point to this edge, this should be 5. So I will press 5 and will press enter. And all these values I had already given into the drawing. Like if you'll see it, here you can see. So you don't have to worry, like this is 4, you can from this to this point, and this is 5 from this to this point. So these values I had already given into the drawing. So here you can see that. Now also I want this point, right? I want this point. Okay, so this is the thing, right? Now still my sketch is not fully defined. You can see my few entities into this sketch is blue. That's why it says underdefined. So maybe we have to define few more things. For example, from this corner to this corner, maybe it should be 3.5. So it will be get equally divided on 3.5 onto the top, 3.5 into the bottom, and rest distance is this one, right? In the similar manner, we also have to do the same for this object. So first we have to know, like from this point to this point, let's say we want to make it 15. So we'll enter 15 like this. And again, we can expand it like this. So on this side also, we'll make it 15. This 15. So now this sketch is fully defined. Now I will simply click on finish sketch. Then we'll select that profile, and this time I don't want to add body onto this object. We want to make a slot cut of this triangular pattern. So if we'll go into the feature panel, instead of it using the extrude, we'll use this new tool that is extrude cut, right? So this tool is especially to make a cut of any profile onto your existing body. So I will activate this tool, and I will go to the bottom where it says selected contours, and I will click the close profile, because right now we have selected this complete sketch, and this complete sketch have multiple profile, this. So SolidWorks doesn't know that which profile you want to make it and use it as a cut. So I have to define. That's why when you will activate the cut extrude tool, simply go on to the bottom first and select your contour like this. The moment I selected a contour, what SolidWorks is doing, it is cutting these contours until the end of the body, right? But we don't want that cut up to the end of the body. We only want that cut up to this face. So how we can do that? Now here we have to define the extent of cut, right? So we'll go and inside this direction, right now it is selected through all. That's why it is cutting through all the body, right? And here we have to change this to up to surface. And the moment you will change up to surface, like up to which surface you want to make a cut, now you have to define. So I will click on this face. Up to this face, we want to make it cut. So here you can see it is cutting up to that face. Now if I'll click on OK, you can see the result. Like we got a slot cut like we intended to make as per this drawing. This is the result we got. Any questions, guys, about this extrude cut tool? Very simple tool, simply like extrude, but it removes the material from your body. Right. Instead of adding material, it removes the material from your body, and that you can find under this feature panel only. Any questions? If you know questions, just write N into the chat box, everyone. If you have questions, just write Y. If you don't have questions, just write N into the chat box. Great. Great, everyone. Great. So now we'll start applying the rest of the chamfers. So simply we'll activate the chamfer tool, and this I will do quickly because I know that all of you know how to use chamfer tool. Not 10 chamfer, simply 2 chamfer. So we'll add few more edges like this edge. I will quickly do this thing because this I already explained you how this chamfer tool is working. So I will click on OK. So this is the chamfer we have applied, right? So extrude distance, see, when you extrude it up to the surface, you don't know how much is the extrude cut distance, but you can measure, you can click on any of this edge and you can check the value at the bottom. So the distance is 65, right? So you can check like how much is the extrude cut, because whenever you do extrude cut, a sharp edge will be generated, and by selecting that edge, you can always check the values at the bottom. Yeah, it's a very good question, I think, Aswin. So now this is the feature that we added. Now the next feature that we have to add, we also have to apply some more chamfers, these small chamfers on this face and onto this face. So these two chamfers will also apply. So again, repeat the same process. We'll activate the chamfer tool, and since we want to apply chamfer on all the edges, so instead of clicking on one edge one by one, I will simply select this complete face. So you can see the face one is getting selected, and because of that complete face is selected, so all the edges that are associated with that face is getting chamfered, right? So it's a quick way to apply chamfer when requirement is like that. And in this case, not all the face. I just want to apply chamfer. I have to check like onto which edges. Okay, let's apply on the complete face. Press OK. Like this. So this is what we got. This is what we got so far. Super simple, super easy. Now until now we have learned 4 commands: boss extrude, fillet, cut extrude, and chamfer. If you have any questions up to this point, just go ahead. Otherwise we are moving on to the next command. Great. So what we'll do now, as I told you, we can start creating sketches on any faces, right? So this time I will again go back to my sketch profile, sketch tool panel, will activate this sketch tool, and I will select this face as a sketch face. And this time I will go on to the rectangle, and instead of using the center rectangle, I will activate this 3-point corner rectangle tool. Right. And why I activated this tool? Because this time I want to create a rectangle by defining 3 points like this. I don't want a rectangle perfectly vertical or perfectly horizontal. I needed a rectangle at a particular angle. That's why I selected this 3-point rectangle corner rectangle tool, and by defining the 3 points, I created a rectangle like this. Now in this sketch, I want this rectangle at 45-degree angle to the horizontal. So we'll activate the dimension tool. From this edge to this edge, I want to keep this angle 45. So I will define this angle 45. So it will automatically adjust accordingly. And since the edges and the sides are not defined, like how much is the length, how much is the width of this rectangle, we can simply drag this like this. We can simply drag it. like this. Okay, so Jyoti is asking how to know on which phase to make and in which chronology order as per drawing. See, again I'm repeating, what order you have to follow to get a certain shape or certain design may vary as per designer, as per your experience. Maybe I can prefer to use some features earlier, whereas you can prefer to use some features later. So it completely depends upon your thought process, and that only develops when you start doing different designs. And that's why some designers can able to achieve certain shapes using some different commands, and whereas some designers can do the same thing using some different commands. So that completely onto like what is your thought process, what is your design intent, and how you have learned those tools in the beginning. There is no defined way like this is the way you have to follow, this is the standard. There is nothing like that. All you need is, all the important thing is that at the end of your design, the design should be as required, right? Okay, so this is the thing. Now, so this is the shape we created, right? And now what we'll do, will we don't know the, we can define the, let's say, width of this rectangle first. So we'll activate the smart dimension. We'll define the width of it as 1 millimeter, right? And we are not going to define the length at this time. We'll keep it unstandard, like anything. Now we'll simply click on exit sketch, but not from there. I will click on here to exit sketch, and here you can see this is the sketch 3 where I have created this rectangle. So I will select that. We'll go into the feature, we'll extrude, right? And we'll extrude it not into this direction, onto the opposite direction. So I will change the direction, but not that much, only 2 millimeter. I just want to extrude it as 2 millimeter. And if you, I will make sure that this option merge result is unticked, right? I will press OK. So what is the difference between that merge result option? So right now, inside your design tree, you can see under the solid bodies, we have this complete body, whereas this body is a separate body. So while performing this tool, if I had turned on this merge result option, what it will do, it will merge these two body. So if I'll press OK, see, now you can see only one body, and these two features are merged with each other. You can also call it union of these two bodies. But I don't want to make union at this moment. So I will press Ctrl Z like this. So now they have separate bodies. Here you can notice inside the bodies folder, right? Now we got a body with the name Boss Extrude 3, right? Boss Extrude 3, we got a body. But here I want to make a small change. I will go back to the sketch of this body, and we'll make a right click and we'll click on edit sketch, and I want to adjust it. I want this to be from this edge, the distance of this, I just want to keep 1.5. Sorry guys. Okay, dimension is driven, I'm really sorry. Smart dimension, this and this. Okay, somehow the dimension is getting driven. Anyway, we can drag it and bring it like this. So we have moved that body position little bit close to this edge. And why have I did this? Because now I'm going to pattern this body in this direction. So the next tool that we are going to learn is known as linear pattern tool, right? So we'll activate this linear pattern tool. And now the first thing is that it is asking me the direction, like in which direction you want to pattern. So I will select this edge, this bottom edge, like I want to pattern it towards the horizontal direction, right? This is the horizontal direction. So I want to pattern along this direction. So I selected that as one inside the direction. Now it is asking me like how many quantities you want, right? So I will write, first I will change this to 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter, right? And then the quantities I want 5, and then what you want to pattern. So instead of defining the direction to, just go to the bottom, and there you will find features and faces, right? And there you can select, you can expand your design tree, and you can expand your body folder, and you can select that body. So this is the body that I want to feature. Okay. Oh, sorry. Not this feature and faces. We have to keep this body because we are going to select this body, right? So we'll turn on this option and we'll select this body. Now you can see this body is getting patterned by 5 number of times. So maybe we have to increase the quantity to 15. I just want to cover the whole body, not 15, I think 30 or maybe 12. Yes, up to 12. So what we did, we have patterned this body using the rectangular pattern tools in this direction by 12 number of times, and between each body there is a 4 mm of distance. Right, simple. Instead of drawing each body as separately, I used this one single body and I had patterned it. I had made a copy out of it using this simple tool. And if I'll press OK, here you can see that body just got copied multiple times like this. So this is the pattern tool we have learned. And since we had made a separate multiple copies, under the solid folder, you can see all those bodies you can see like this as a separate body. Now the next tool that we're going to learn is the Boolean operation tool. And this is very important that you understand the Boolean operation. So first I will give you a small demo. For example, there are 3 Boolean types. For example, let's say you have a circle and you have other circle. So if you will make a union between these 2 circles or combine, what you will get area of like this, right? If you will use union, or we can also call it combine, right? So this is one of the Boolean operation, right? The next Boolean operation is subtract. So if you have circle and if you will subtract the other circle out of it, so you will get a shape like this, right? So this area will get subtracted. And when you use the subtract Boolean operation, the order of the selection of object is important. If you will select it first this circle, then you will get this area only, right? So the order of selection while doing the subtraction Boolean is important. Now the next Boolean operation is the intersection. For example, if you have 2 circles and if you'll apply the intersection Boolean between these 2 circles, you will get area this one, right? So I hope you have studied these concepts and now it is very clear to you. If you have any questions, just go ahead. I will just delete these things. I don't know how we can quickly do it. Okay, so now we are going to apply a Boolean operation between all these bodies that we have created. So for that, we'll activate this tool called combine, and I can find that tool. I can find that tool. I cannot find that tool over here. So yes, it is here, the combine tool. Can you see it at the last, combine tool? So if you cannot see this tool into your tool panel, I told you simply go on to this option. This option, search command, and you can search for the combine, and then you can drag it and keep it onto the place where you want, right? And it mostly inside the feature panel. So if you have the tool, that's completely fine. So if I'll activate this tool combine, what Boolean operation we want to do here is we want to do a subtract Boolean operation. So now I told you, whenever you want to apply this subtract Boolean operation, the selection or priority is important. So in this case, the main body is this. This is the main body that we want to use. The bigger body we want to use as a main body. Now from this main body, we want to subtract all these small pieces. So when I will click on this one, then I will keep selecting all these small bodies carefully. So somehow I deselected the main body. So anytime if you did anything wrong, you can come back to your main body. Let's first select all the smaller bodies. So I have selected only the smaller bodies first inside this bodies to subtract. Then we'll move back to the main body and we'll select this as a main body. And the moment I will click on, if I'll click on show preview, you can see we'll get a shape like this. So from this main body, all those pieces are getting subtracted. So whatever portion that is coming in contact is only getting subtracted because only the intersected area will get subtracted, right? So and that is the way of the Boolean operation. So if we click on finish, you can see we get a shape like this, right? So now we come to the question of Jagjot, that he has asked, like, in which chronology order as per drawing, like how we can decide, like, or what steps we have to take. So for this same feature, instead of using the Boolean operation or the combine operation, we can also use the extrude cut feature, right? We can create multiple sketches and we can extrude cut it. So that is also a correct way to get this shape. But I told you it completely depends upon the person or on the designer, what is his approach to get a certain design, right? In which approach he is more comfortable. So now we got this shape. Now the next thing that is left, to create a hole onto this face. And to create a hole, it's very simple. Select that face, activate a sketch onto that face, right? Create a circle of your hole size, right? And then I will make sure that I define the diameter of this circle as 16, right? And I also have to define the position of this circle. So if you remember, the side, the width of this is 40. So from this side, if I'll make it 20, so it will come at the midpoint of this complete feature, right? And we can also adjust the height of it. So I will adjust the dimension from the top face. So from any edge, you can define the dimensions of your feature. It's not really important, but always try to define the features with respect to the origin. So here I will delete it and will define with respect to the origin. So this is my origin. So I will define this one, let's say 7.2 or 7.4, sorry, 7.4. And now I will click on finish sketch. Now the sketch 4, where we created this circle to create hole, I will select that sketch. We'll go on to the feature, and to make a cut, we are not going to select extrude, we are not going to select a fillet, chamfer, pattern, combine. We are going to select extrude cut. So we'll select that extrude cut, and we want this cut to be made through the body. So we'll make sure that it is a sketch plane, and in the direction we'll change this to through all both. So it is cutting on both the directions, right? And why both the direction? Because this is the face, and this person will also get cut out, right? That's why we selected both the direction. And the moment I will click on OK, here you can see we got the hole, right? And this is the design. Now this bottom hole is left, I'm not going to do today. So it's your task that you finish this design. This drawing is inside the assignment. Make sure that you follow all the dimensions, drawings and design. And for the sketch, I'm again repeating, for the sketch, you have to go through the day 2 assignment. Here the sketch details, and inside the day 3, the rest of the details are available, like the cut length or the top groove cuts or the fillet chamfer size or these triangular shapes or these shapes. All the details are over here. So you have to combine these 2 assignments and you have to finalize this 3D model, all of you. I hope everything is clear to every one of you. Guys, let me know into the chat box. Okay, so now is the time to ask questions. So if you got questions, just go ahead, ask your questions. Now we have just finished lots of commands, tools, and I know it's not really easy for you to understand everything in the first go, but if you'll keep learning with me, keep practicing with me, you can learn faster. So let me know if you have any question into the chat box. I'm waiting. Till then, I'm just taking a simple snapshot. Okay, triangular cut dimensions. See, what I did when I created these triangles onto this face. So let's say we have this face, right? This was the face. Now this is the first triangle cut we created, and this is the second triangle cut we created, and this is the third triangle cut we created. But in these triangular cuts, the level of this point and this point was the same. That's why we applied the horizontal constraint between this point and this point. We also applied the same onto this point and this point, and we also applied the same onto this point and this point. Apart from this, we also make sure that this edge, and this edge, and this edge, all these four edges are equal. So we also applied the, okay, so the triangle cut, please explain through extrude cut also, the grooving one. Okay, so you are asking about these things, right? Okay, so see, it's very simple. We'll go back. We'll remove these things. So it's very simple. See, so instead of what was that, combine, we'll delete that combine. We'll delete that extrude also. So instead of patterning the body, we can pattern the sketch itself. So we'll edit this sketch. We'll go inside this sketch. And inside sketch work environment, we also have the pattern tool, same linear sketch pattern tool. So we'll activate that. Now the first thing is that we have to define the direction. So we'll delete first and we'll select this side as a direction, right? And here you can see the edge one is now selected as a direction of pattern. Now how many quantity? If you remember, we had selected 13 quantity, and the distance, if you remember, we had kept 4 millimeter, right? And then what is the object that we want to pattern? So we have to turn on this option and then add all the sides. But right now you can see the pattern is getting done on the wrong direction. So if you'll click on this revert direction, I can pattern it onto the opposite side. If I'll click on finish, so this is the sketch we created, right? And now instead of using any combine tool or anything, we can simply click on finish sketch. We can go to activate extrude tool, and we can, first we have to select the sketch, then we can activate the extrude tool. This is the sketch, right? This is the sketch. We'll select the sketch, we'll activate the extrude cut tool. And now under the contours, all contours are already selected, but through all both selected, so we'll first change this to blind, right? And then we'll change the direction, and we'll untick this direction too. We only want this in direction 1. So instead of this direction, I just want to flip the direction to this, where it is, like that. See, so I'm making extrude cut starting from the same face inside the body. You will press OK, like this. So using the sketch, instead of using the combine tool, by using the extrude cut, we get the shape like this. So that's why I said the design approach could be different for different designers. It completely onto our way of thinking, how we can achieve the shape. So guys, let me know any questions any one of you got, because we already uploaded the assignment, and very soon I will also be this one uploading the recording of this day 3 session, and I expect all of you are learning with me, all of you are practicing with me. So let me know into the chat box any questions. I'm waiting for few of the questions now.